Okay, this is review number 4, trig graphs for the test. You've got your sine graph, cosine graph, and tangent graph, and you have to know how to graph all of these. The domain for the sine graph is all real numbers, because it goes on forever in both directions. Let's see if I can write this down right. Okay, the domain for the range, this has an amplitude of 1 in the front, so it'd be -1 to 1. And the period would be 2 pi. Okay, and then you would start your cosine graph at 0, 0. And it's going to go all the way to 2 pi. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be pi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 2 pi. Okay, then divide it in half, and you have zeros at pi and 2 pi, and then you divide the rest of it in half. And we're going to make this every other one a 1. Now, if you went 1, 2, 3, 4, that's fine. Either one would be fine. Okay, then we'll cut this in half. Oops, I'm still going too far up. We're at 1 and -1. Okay, and that's the sine. And then we'll continue this on the other side. And you can probably draw it better than I can, but there it is. Okay, then you do the same thing for the parent function for cosine, which if you don't know how to do this, you can look it up in your notes from 4.1. This is notes 4.1. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's just the parent function, but cosine starts up here at the amplitude, and it goes all the way to 2 pi also, and its domain is all reals, and its range is -1 to 1 for the parent function. Okay, tangent, you're going to need to memorize this one. The domain is odd multiples of pi over 2, and the range is going to be all reals, and the period is pi. Okay, then your tangent has asymptotes, and if you've forgotten this, you need to look it up in your notes, notes 4.1. Okay, it starts in the middle, and then it has a point up 1 and over halfway, and then the curve hugs the asymptotes. And then you draw all the way, you draw 3 more of these, and a half on each end. Okay, and then you just continue on drawing over here. And the keys to this are on the back, and so here is your cosine graph, here is your sine graph, here's your tangent graph. Okay, what I really want to go over though are these 3 graphs. And we've got 4 cosine 2/3 of x plus 5 pi over 3. Now, to find the period, you take the b, which is 2/3, you do 2 pi divided by b. So we're going to do 2 pi divided by 2/3, which is 2 pi times 3 over 2. The 2's cancel, and we end up with 3 pi. So we have a big period. It's 3 pi. Okay, the amplitude is 4. The horizontal shift would be right, not right, it's left, opposite of the plus, 5 pi over 3. The vertical shift, there isn't anything out here, it's just at 0. Okay, and the domain will always be all reals, because even though we're only going to draw 1 cycle, we still put the domain as all reals because it does keep going. And the range we're going to do at the end, after we do everything else. So this is cosine, and we're going to start left 5 pi over 3, and since there's no scale on here, we're going by pi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is pi. So 5 pi over 3 left is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, 5 pi over 3, let's change it to 10 pi over 6. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is at 10 pi over 6. Okay, and then it has a period of 3 pi. So 1 pi is 6 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a pi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another pi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our third pi. Then it's going to go to this point right here. It's a cosine, so it might be there. Okay, so we're going to start at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's a positive cosine. It's going to end at 4, halfway through the middle, which would be 9 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then halfway between these 2 points, which is 9 units apart, would be 4.5. Same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Then we can draw it. Okay, now we can do the ranges from -4 to 4. Okay, the next one. We've got 2 sine 3 of x minus pi over 2 plus 2. Okay, let's look at the period. The period is equal to 2 pi over b. So 2 pi over 3, that'd just be 2 pi thirds. The amplitude is 2. The horizontal shift is right pi over 2. The vertical shift is up 2. Okay, domain is all reals. So we're going to go right pi over 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is pi. So pi over 2 is the same thing as 3 pi over 6. 1, 2, 3, right here. So it's going to start here, and it's a sine. And it's going to go 2 pi over 3, which isn't very far. 2 pi over 3 is the same thing as 4 pi over 6. So it's 4 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to end right here. It's going to have a 0 in the middle. It's going to go up to 2. We're telling this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll go up to 2. Whoops. I forgot to raise it up 2. We need to raise this up 2. That should have been the first thing I did, was mark this up at 2. Okay, so it'll start here, end here, in the middle here. Then it's going to go up 2 from here, down 2 from there. It's a tiny sign. And it's positive, so it goes up, comes back down. Okay, so its range is from 0 to 4. Okay, on the next one, we're going to remember to do the -3 first. Okay, we're going to do that first. 1, 2, 3. And notice this one is in radians instead of pi. Let's find the period. 2 pi over b. That equals 2 pi over pi over 5. So that equals 2 pi times 5 over pi, which equals 10. So the period is 10. The amplitude is 3. The horizontal shift is left 4. And the vertical shift is down 3, which I've already done. And the domain is all reals, and we'll do the range at the end. Okay, so we're going to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the cosine is going to start down here, but cosine starts at the amplitude, and this is negative, so it's going to start down here at 3. And it's going to go all the way to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to end at 10. Halfway would be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll go up 3 from here. 1, 2, 3. Halfway between 5 would be 2.5. 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5. Then we'll draw the cosine. Right, so the range is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -6 to 0. Okay, and you can check all these with your key also. Okay, we're going to write these equations. Write two equations for each trig graph, use sine and use cosine. Okay. All right, so let's find the middle so that we can find the amplitude, which is 1, 2, 3. 3 sine, 3 cosine. Now, they may end up being negative. We're going to see here in a second. Okay, I'm going to start my sine. Boy, there's not a place to start it on the right until we get to right here. That's the first place I can start it. Okay, and this is going by pi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is pi. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is 11 pi over 6. So the period equals, oh no, that's not what I'm looking at. This is how it's moved. Be x minus 11 pi over 6. Okay, it moved down 2. I just need to find the b. So I need to look at the period. Here's a full cycle right here. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then I can multiply it by 2. And so it's really 4 pi. From this is 2 pi for 12. So 22 of them would be 4 pi. So the period equals 4 pi. So b equals 2 pi divided by 4 pi, which equals 1/2. That's a 1/2. So we're going to have 3 cosine 1/2 minus 2. Cosine can start here. And then this would be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pi over 6. So this would be x minus 5 pi over 6. And cosine is positive, but sine went down and it was negative. Okay, then number 8 is in radians. And it is, I'm going to have to stop on this one. One thing I need to tell you about 8b is you're going to get a different answer than the key, and that's okay. Also, make sure you have memorized your basic 8 plus your double angle. So you need to know what the sine of 2a equals. You have to memorize these. Cosine of 2a, and there's 3 cosines of 2a's. You have to know what all 3 of them are. So memorize these. Okay, we are omitting all harmonic motions. So, whoops, that's not an omit. So omit number 12, omit number 11. All you have to know are the graphs and the trig identities and the special angles. These are both review, and you have to memorize your double angle identities.